Hello, all you cats and chicks out there. This is your host, the Sleepless Illustrator, with another video this week. And yeah, we're continuing our month of Captain America. And if you guys haven't read the title, we're going to be drawing the leader. Um, if you guys aren't familiar with this character, he actually is a Hulk. But I do advise you guys not to watch this video if you haven't seen. And I will put this in the description, guys. So if you haven't seen Captain America: Brave New World, and I'll talk about that later. What I thought. Let's just get right into it, and then let's do it, guys. So, if you guys are familiar with this character, he actually is a Hulk character, and he's supposed to be. My honest opinion, he's supposed to be like the the brain versus bronze. You know, the Hulk is like a super huge. A super strong hero, whereas the leader is all about brains. He has a normally sized brain due to gamma radiation, I believe. And we're going to kind of draw him like an alien guy. So actually, I thought this would be a good, interesting to kind of dabble into different types of heads, guys. Because if you ever, in the book, Draw the Marvel Way, guys, they show you how to, which I do advise you guys check out, because it shows you how to draw like different heads and different characters, guys. Because back then they used to draw things a little bit differently, you know, straighter chins, fat people, you know, just to have distinct characteristics that make a character. You know, yeah, I know, sorry, I said fat people, get over it. But you know, there's all kinds of people in this world, guys, and you have to be able to draw all kinds of things, guys. Infants, you know, skinny, fat, thick, you know. I guess it's only skinny and fat, I guess, but you know, well, these days. Anyway, well, let's just try going drawing the head. This is a very simple guy, guys. He's just got to just draw a regular guy with a huge brain. So we're just gonna draw his head and get a little, you know, he's got a little hair going. But in you can kind of draw him a little bit. Like right now, though, I'm just using an older one where he has like just like a big head. But let's get his hair in. So I think there's some versions of him where he has some kind of a brain, because he has a brain hanging out of his head. But let's just draw him. I'm kind of going for the old comic book version, so let's get him. Get his eyebrows. Remember, guys, always start with the eyes. I always say get the eyes, because then you can get these little brows in, because that kind of determines, you know, the middle. Keep this all big. So get his nose. And I'm kind of drawing his head as an angle, guys, so it's okay. So, oops, nostrils a little too. We only see the top of his nostril, so you won't see big holes like this, guys. So, I mean, let's see, it depends on the angle, but try to keep the nostrils a little thin at this angle. Maybe a little bit of a peak, but... And then we're just going to give him some regular eyes. I want to make sure my eyes are proportioned, because it's a little closer. Seems a little far away. Kind of reminds me of a Martian, guys, a little bit. Has a little bit of a Martian, like old school with a big head. And if you guys want to know the secret to drawing a mouth on a man, I think I've talked about before with a mouth on a woman. But for a man, it's different, guys. So just draw a line. All you need is 2 lines, guys. This for the top lip, and this for his chin. And that's it. And then maybe a little line for the little area underneath the nostril. But that's about it when it comes to drawing men lips, because men don't need, you know, like that. So let's just draw his little eye socket here. And what I thought of the movie, guys, well, it was entertaining, guys. You know, it's funny though. And listen, I will say this: so the movie was good, but like, I mean, it wasn't good. Well, it was okay. I mean, but what I was about to say is that, okay, so guys, so number one, someone had a seizure in the theater that we went to. It was kind of an interesting night, and you know, I'm afraid I ended up turning into a jerk, because, like, I was like, at first I thought someone was just disturbing the movie, like any other, you know, movie, because people these days, I swear to God, can't go to a movie and just like be normal. But of course, obviously, you know, I thought there was some guy or who's giving crap, and then all of a sudden we see that it was someone. There was a paramedic, so I put my foot in my mouth. But at the same time, the movie was still going. I'm like, great, I paid for this movie, and then all of a sudden, you know, because between that and I was about to say, guys, we had someone in front of us who brought their 2 babies, you know, 2 toddlers. You know, they and look, guys, I love kids. I love seeing kids around. I'm glad that people, you know, bring their families. I love seeing families and happy, but You know, the movie theater is not a place to bring your kid, guys. I'm sorry. I will, you know, I'm not trying to shame anyone for being a parent, but like, you know, everyone's trying to enjoy the movie, and I don't like it when people do that. You know, I love kids. I hope to have kids of my own one day, but you know, I don't understand why parents bring their. I swear to guys, one time when during the first A Quiet Place, when that movie came out back then, I went with my girl at the time, and someone brought their baby during a movie called The A Quiet Place. I couldn't believe it. So, you know, in a movie where it was mostly quiet most of the time. You guys have seen the movie, so. But anyway, well, that's all I'll say. But, you know, I'm not trying to shame anybody. But between that, I mean, the movie was okay. But between that and then, like I said, the person... Although we did get a couple of free tickets, so the movie at the theater, you know, kind of handed out when we left. But the movie wasn't too disturbing. So, don't worry, guys. I mean, I did enjoy it. It wasn't like the greatest Marvel, but I really wanted to enjoy it. I'm trying to like give the MCU credit for it. And I know it's gone through like a lot of hell, but that's all I'll say. I mean, I still recommend it. I know some people are really crapping on it, and that's fine. I know there's some people who just won't flat out see it, so but yeah, I do recommend, you know, going to see it, make up your own mind. You know, you don't have to follow the critics and follow the people on YouTube. If you enjoy it, guys. I mean, there's some people who probably enjoyed, you know, Miss Marvel or whatever. If you enjoy those movies, guys, more power to you. I don't care. I mean, I like the Book of Boba Fett, and then I get crap from that, so... It wasn't the greatest. I still think Book of Boba could have been better. I really wish Boba would have been more menacing, but you know what? You know, that's just me. You don't always have to hate everything, guys, so that's my, See? No, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Let's get a little more wrinkles, and then and start to then draw little veins in the brain, guys. Try to get a little, you know, little wrinkles in his head because he's got little veins popping out of his head. So it's looking pretty good. I actually drew it faster than I thought, but it's just a guy with a big head and a mustache and a beard. So get our ink brush. I'm having a good week, guys. I had a good weekend, and I hope you guys are all having. I'm in a good mood today. So, have to do that. Sorry, guys. If you make a mistake, just keep going. Like, it's just sometimes you see me like, yeah. Excuse me. Sometimes I do it in the wrong layer. I'm just making sure that works. Sometimes I do it in the wrong layer, but since it's just the layer is just for reference, you know, for you guys and stuff, because otherwise I would have just drawn the leader. Not that I'm an expert, but I just draw it so I can kind of keep track of my drawing, you know. Makes it look a little bit better. Sorry guys, if I'm talking a little funny, I'm a little tongue-tied. Actually guys, I'm having a little problem with my mouth right now because I just had a couple of crowns put in a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to like trying to get used to them. I keep kind of biting my tongue, so, and I've been talking a lot. I was actually calling the phone a couple times today, so before I start filming this, but bear with me. My mind is like racing. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I just want to get this video out. But I'm okay. I'm just saying, like, I'm a little, yeah, just bear with me today, guys. But it's coming out pretty good. Remember, guys, keep it lines. Always thin lines as much as you can. Kind of control your lines a little. Don't go too heavy like that. Back it up a little bit. There we go. And there's been different versions of the leader, guys. So I believe that like his powers come from the radiation or gamma radiation. I believe it's the same thing with the Hulk, but it's instead of giving him like super strength, he got super brains. And this character was in the first Hulk movie, guys, and then they left it at that he was supposed to be the leader, where the blood from Bruce dripped into his head and his brain started to form. Then he smiled at the end. So, but and then we just never saw him again. So, but you never know. I mean, they brought back Thaddeus Ross, and you know, from to Civil War, so he was seen again. And William Hurt. That's why Harrison Ford is playing William Hurt. Because if you guys aren't familiar, I think I read over this in the Red Hulk. So go watch that video, and I've explained what happened with that. William Hurt was supposed to play Harrison Ford's character, so but since he passed away, they recast Harrison Ford, which honestly in the movie was pretty good, guys. I actually did like Harrison Ford, even though Harrison Ford's a grouch. I swear to God. I don't know what he has against Han Solo, but my friend Mike always says like he loves playing Indiana Jones, I guess. I don't know, maybe he likes that character better. But yeah, we're just getting these thick lines, guys. Just remember, keep it thick when it needs to be thick. You know, kind of use a little bit of judgment on what you're doing, but you know, He's got a little neck thing. I'm drawing old school, which I like. I love anything old school, guys, because let me tell you something, guys. When it comes to character design, I'm so sick and tired of characters be looking too real. Like, there's a reason why, you know, Punisher or Fantastic Four has their suits designed the way that, because it was interesting, guys. It makes the character look interesting. Don't make characters too real. It takes away from the fantasy that these guys are supposed to be like, you know, they have big shoulders. Why? Why not? You know, because it's just the way it is. Doesn't have to be a reason why this guy has straps and big shoulders, because it makes the character more interesting, because you don't see it every day. You know, how many guys have you seen, well, unless you lived through the 80s, I guess, he had big shoulders, but like, doesn't this make the character look more interesting if I just drew him like this rather than just drawing him in a sweatshirt or a hoodie, you know? I guarantee if this character's live action or something like that, they'd put him in a hoodie or something like that, you know? And I just something to think about when you're designing your characters, guys. Because if you're designing your characters, it's okay to have them like to see what Captain America would look like, you know, in a hoodie. But you know, you're not really drawing Captain America when he's making breakfast, you know. So try not to think of that like, you know, it depends, I guess, when you're drawing the scene. I guess obviously when you're drawing, you're trying to set up the scene. But for the most part, try to keep things a little bit more interesting. You know, some of my characters have things on their shoulders for what reason? No other reason. And if your book can explain it, you know, maybe your character's always getting shot in the arm and you put a wrist blade, a wrist gauntlet or something like that. Why not? It just, you know, comic books, guys, whenever you're drawing comic books like this, it's always, that's why we put wrinkles and designs and things like that. Although in the early books, they weren't as detailed, because back then they used to draw the human body and the woman and everything pretty simple. So, but for the most part, like, they try to make it as exaggerated as possible. You know, even when they were drawing a strong guy, if you study the Marvel way, guys, they'll draw you a picture of like a regular guy, a regular strong guy, and the difference between a strong guy and a strong superhero. That there is, you know, they're slightly bigger. So, in my experience, so if you draw an average guy who's even a bodybuilder, you gotta draw Captain America or Bruce Banner, or even bigger, obviously Bruce Banner. But even like your average guys like Punisher, he's got to look bigger, you know, than your average guy, because that's what gives him his edge, you know. So that's just the way I was taught. But then again, it's your ideas. You're you know, I'm just giving out some friendly advice. However you want to draw your characters, guys, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, guys, the one solid thing I will say is make them as interesting as possible. I think that's something, you know, people can say. Even if you're drawing a character in a hoodie, draw the best damn hoodie you can find, you know. Put something funny on the hoodie. Someone be like, oh yeah, that's a reference to that. I mean, it's kind of a cool little nook, so whatever. So yeah, it's coming out pretty good. See where we're at, 13 minutes. Hoping this to be a quick video, but draw these little veins, guys, and then add a little space in the veins to kind of make it look a little, yeah, there we go, because you got a big old brain, got a big old pulsating brain. So even then, you guys do have veins all over your body that you know, through your forehead. If you're angry, you know, those will start to pop out. So you got a big old brain. So yeah. Damn, got a big old forehead. Save this bad boy and add a little bit of shading. I don't have to add too much shading. Just always under the neck, of course, you know. Have some fun with it, guys. You only live once. A little bit of a... I was trying to turn around. Okay. I don't have to do too much shading. I guess I can just fill it. Wait, fill in his pupil. Got a little bit of shadow on his nose. I'll show that the light's kind of hitting that the opposite side a little. I guess we could fill in his hair a little. I don't like to do too much. Oops. A little bit of because remember I told you guys hair has shine, so leave a little in the back because this is where the light's hitting it. So the light hits his hair. So you'll still see a little bit of shine in the back. So remember, black hair is not always black, guys. So remember, keep the strands because this is his hairline. Just try to keep the shadows in the middle because that's where the shadows will mostly be hitting it. So, because the light would hit this, it's kind of, got to kind of interpret the shapes a little bit. I'm just filling in a little bit. So. Getting better, guys. If I do say so myself, I think we're all improving together, so. Okay. A little shadow on the ears. But I did enjoy the movie, guys. I mean, it's not the greatest, but you know what? Best we got, so. Add little strands of hairs to, like, pop out a little. Oops. Yeah, I mean, guys, this is how interesting Marvel used to be. They used to draw really interesting characters with eyebrows and, you know, just made it look really cool, you know? They don't do that anymore. Everything has to have a hoodie or a t-shirt or, you know, have to draw Captain American jeans. Have to see Sam Wilson pouring some orange juice. And I get it, you know. But sometimes I like to go back to the old days where we didn't have to draw. See, let me tell you something, guys. The part of drawing this kind of, the problem with realism, guys, is that the more realism, I love comic books, but comic books used to be very simple and not that I'm not willing to do the work. I mean, it makes me sound lazy, I get it, but, you know, having to draw like New York and draw everything exact and how to draw like a full scenery and stuff like that, it takes time, you know. Comic books used to be simple and like I said, you know, used to be more of a simple and I love comic books for, you know, for what they are today, but, you know, having to draw everything real, I mean, even then, I mean, when it works out for the artist and it works out for the reader who doesn't have to, you know, I guess just mostly for the artist. I guess you got me there. I guess I'm just lazy, but you know what? I mean, you guys can understand that it's hard to, you know, when you have to draw so many things. I guess there's no excuses because the internet has everything, but it's not even that. I think it just takes away the imagination because, you know, you have to kind of imagine that you're reading a book that's in New York, you know? So I think everything's just too real. I think we need to get back to a point where it's just, you know, let's have a little bit of imagination. Like, this is LA or this is New York, you know, this is how, you know, let's just, you know, kind of go with it. So that a little fun here. And then I think that'll be about it. I want to end this video pretty quickly. So, and there he is, guys, a big old forehead. Someone says my O's look like a triangle, so. And there we go, guys. There's our leader, the leader. All brains, no bronze, and yeah, came out pretty good. The big old head. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Yeah, I recommend you go see the movie, check it out, and let me know what you think in the comments. If it's the worst thing you've ever seen, it's the best thing you've ever seen. Are you impressed with Anthony Mackie as Captain America? And yeah, tell me what you think in the comments, guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. I think next week will be our last Captain America video, guys. So I'll tune into them. So I really appreciate it, guys. And have a good night. And be safe. And remember, be kind to yourself, guys. Don't beat yourselves up. There's too many people doing that already. So anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Later, Gators.